Good morning. Welcome to my farm vlog. I'm Amber. I'm a middle school music teacher who's vlogging every day until the end of her summer break. So I'm going to be here until August, I think it's like 18th. That might be actually the day I start work. But anyways, I help my husband and his family with their boarding stable, and I have 5 horses, well 4 plus my husband's of my own. And I do show. So if you want to see some of the show vlogs, those are from the other day. So yeah, come along.
So I have to admit, being a content creator, a newer content creator, I often struggle with, what am I even doing in this film? I'm like, what do people want to watch? What do you want to see? And, I thought, well, I'm just doing my daily routine. I'm like, but my daily routine looks the same day in and day out. And I realized that maybe I should just be talking about things that you would find helpful. If you're here, you must have an interest in horses in some capacity. Like if you are interested in getting into them, if you are just interested in learning about them, or maybe you have them and you just think that maybe there's going to be something else, or you enjoy the conversation about horses. So I decided that over some of these videos, I'm just going to start talking about topics that I think are useful. So today's video, I wanted to talk about horses and their happiness. And I think that that's extremely important because I think that sometimes people try to personify horses and try to take care of them in a way that it makes the human happy, but it might not make the horse happy. So with that, we're going to go with horse happiness is tied directly to 3 F's. Now, this first F is one that hits close to home for me because it is forage. Well, I don't eat forage, but for me, that food, yes. I mean, who can't relate to food? I love food. But forage is one of the things that keeps a horse healthy and stable and keeps them from being bored. So forage is super important, whether they're getting it in actual pasture, so from the grass and available things to actual live plants to eat from. It's important that they get it from that or from hay. And it needs to be quality hay that can sustain the horse's needs. Not all hay is created equal. And I really struggle with this one because in our region, so I'm in the Laurel Highlands region, so we're going to see orchard grass, we're going to see legumes like Timothy, and we're not going to see the different types of hay that we would see, like if you were on a coastal state, you would see like a coastal grass or a seagrass. Those all have different nutrition qualities to it. So different hay for the different situations. It's important to know about that. And I think the way you feed the hay is also important. I know a lot of people that feed round bales to horses, and they claim that they tarp them or they cover them, and they do make horse round bale feeders. Don't get me wrong. I think those are fantastic if you can afford them. They're also really, really super expensive because when I saw them, I was like, that's awesome. We're putting one in. And then I realized how expensive they were. And I'm like, we're not putting one in. It was just easier for us to keep feeding square bales. So with round bales, I think that you're opening yourself to a host of issues, not just botulism, which is a big one, but you're also opening yourself to any mold decomposition inside the bale. Like the bale will eventually still go bad on the inside, even without moisture. So you're opening up to dust and respiratory issues for the horses. It's just not something I want to play with. So we feed square bales, and horses have free choice hay when they're in turnout. My horses are in pastures, so they obviously have live grass to eat. And then during the winter, they get free choice hay. And horses that are in their stalls also have free choice hay. But let's talk about stalls while we're here. So friends is the next thing. It is really important for horses who are herd animals that need other horses to have friends, to be with other horses. Keeping a horse by itself, in my personal opinion, is cruel because horses want to be with their kind. And you're like, but I love my horse and I'm my horse's best friend. You may have a great relationship with your horse, and that's amazing. But your horse also needs to be with its kind as well. Horses need other horses to be happy. And I don't think everybody realizes that. And people will leave their horses in the barn at different times, and I understand too, if your horse has to be in for a medical reason, so be it. But don't just keep your horse separated from everybody else because you don't want it to get scratched that day or something like that. Horses need to be with their friends. And finally, this is a big one for me, and I'm probably going to really upset people with this one. But the final F, so we've already talked about forage, we've talked about friends. The final F for horse happiness is freedom. Horses need to be able to get out of their 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 stall. They need to be out in the fields. They need to be able to move and exercise. And again, people are like, but I don't want it getting dirty. I don't want it getting bit. That's just going to be part of the game. I know that the show world is very different, and I can't say I understand why it's done, but I can't say that I agree with it. You know, I think that sometimes just dealing with cuts and scratches and missing hair and things like that is part of the game. It is what it is. And we just try to deal with it. But horse freedom is also super important. So, all of these things combined lead to happy, healthy horses. At least mentally happy, healthy horses, because, we can't guarantee physical health. Sometimes all these things combined can still lead to a horse accident, but, horses are great at that. So, yeah, I hope that in today that you have learned something and that you can expand your thoughts on this. So, yeah, that's where we are. So I hope that you have a great day, and I hope that you enjoy the content and that you keep coming back. If you do enjoy this content, go ahead and give me a follow. If you have questions that you'd like answered, please leave me a comment. I do read through all the comments, and I like to check things out. So, all right, I'll see you next time. Bye.